This is Starbirds. It's a base builder crossed with a resource management style game set in the colorful world of the Kurtz Gazette YouTube channel. It's a strange combination, but it's kind of interesting. Anyway, we start with a space station right here. This is where our birds live, and we need to deliver resources to here. We also have access to a bunch of different asteroids, and there's a couple of other asteroids here that we are going to explore. Now, we have a very simple mission, and that is to supply one laser and 10 mirrors to the space station in order to win. In order to get the laser, we need to research an optics factory, and we can actually see that in order to make a laser, we need uranium and glass. Now, we currently can get uranium from this asteroid here, but glass, I don't know how to make it. We need to put quartz in through a refiner, and in order to make quartz, we need silicon and water. Holy heck. Okay, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff happening here. I'm going to start the process of discovering you. Now, that's going to cost me some tech points. That's fine. We've got credits, tech points over here. There is some station level stats, some supply things that we can talk about as we go. Ooh, another asteroid over there. Okay, that's fine. For now, let's just jump down onto this planet and see what we have got going on. Okay, so each and every asteroid that we come across, we are going to need to set up a lander in order to see what's happening on the surface. Now, in order to land this lander, it's going to cost us some tech points, and it's also going to cost us some credits. We're also, hopefully, going to have a few missions to fulfill over the course of time in order to increase our station level and make ourselves a little bit of cash in the process. Uranium is naturally occurring, so is aluminium, which is great, and so is iron. I think we're going to elect to supply uranium at least for now. So, we only have a couple of buildings that we can utilize at the moment. We do have a crucible that is researchable. We've got a chemical lab here, no energy facilities, logistics. We'll talk about all of this in due course, but for now, let's focus up on the extractor. Extractor is the most basic type of unit here, and it is able to extract from these ore patches that we have, and as long as we connect up our extractor to the launch pad, we are able to make ourselves some deliveries of resources. There we go. Let's get that in there. And let's get that in there. So we got some piping going on here. Excellent. We are able to satisfy that requirement, which is fantastic. And we have been given the opportunity to build ourselves some new modules, which I'm very interested in doing. Water not found, magnesium not found. That's fine. But we do have a supply quest here. And if I supply 24 uranium, then we will either be able to get ourselves some credits or some tech points. I'm going to take the credits, and we're just going to make sure that we keep the supply mission going pretty much at all times. That is what we're after. So we've also got aluminium here. That's fine. There's a few sort of like of these little resource nodes. These things are kind of cool. If we deploy the rover, we can manually sort of set these resources to be collected, and if we collect the golden ones, then we get was it like 15 credits or something, and if we collect the tech points, or the green ones, we get like, what, 3 tech points, basically just so you don't run out of money and completely screw yourself. It's not necessarily something that we want to worry about too much, because we got this supply chain mission, but it is something that we will need to sort of consider as we go. Now, what did I need for glass? In order to get glass, we need to refine quartz. I mean, we are moving towards the optics factory. Let's start the process of getting the optics factory researched, and in order to do that, we actually need to supply glass, so that's great. We need to refine quartz, and in order to make quartz, we need to get silicon and water in a chemical lab. Okay, that's fine. Let's jump back out here. And silicon and water. Perfect. I actually have already researched this asteroid. That is beautiful. Let's land right there. Let's make sure that we keep these supply quests going at all times. Module quest. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. So what do I need here? I need chemical lab, silicon, water. So what is this? I don't know what this stuff is. This is sulfur. Okay, so this stuff is sulfur, this stuff is water, and this stuff is silicon. Well, we're going to punt this down there, we're going to punt this down there, and then we are going to put into a, what was it? Glass, quartz, into a chemical lab. Perfect. Chemical lab right there. Beautiful. Input 1, input 2, and then that is going to make us quartz, which is great. Then we refine the quartz. Yep. and then we place that into the landing pad. How's that? Is that going to work? That's going to give us glass. Amazing. So, at the present moment, we're just going to supply back to the space station, which is exactly what we need. Do I want to get more... Do I want to get more production? I think I kind of do want to get more production of this key resource for us. So let's do that. We're actually bang out of cash, so that's fine. Let's collect that one. Let's do... Ooh, yeah, sulfur. We can actually do that now. Or alternatively, we could do water. In order to make this happen, I would have to get a little bit of manual production set up. And we don't currently have any water supplying directly to the launch pad. We can supply multiple resources to the launch pad. It is definitely possible. We can also upgrade, but not quite yet. Excellent. Amazing. The optics factory has been built. The park, we're supplying the water. That's great. Crucible, researchable. No, I'm not that bothered about that at all. I am going to just do a little bit of resource harvesting. Supply quest. Absolutely going to take the uranium mission. We can bash out like a really, really decent amount of uranium really quite quickly. So I'm quite happy with that. Park, that's coming together really nicely. And excellent. Good. So now that I've done glass, I need to do... Thank you. And keep the good times going. Keep the good times going. Yeah, we'll do solar cells from sulfur. And we'll get an extractor here, and we'll just pump that in there. Cool. And then we'll do water here in order to get a little bit more. Right, I need a laser. So uranium plus glass is equal to a laser, and that needs to be done in an optics factory. So I could do this here, but what I think we're doing, since we're already launching glass off-world, we can utilize a landing pad on this planet here, which is already punting out a whole bunch of uranium. So, we can build ourselves a landing pad, which is the opposite of a launch pad, and this is going to allow us to receive resources. And then if we jump back into this interface here, we can say, hey, glass, instead of going to the space station, we're going to get it delivered to the launch pad that we have just built here. There is no way for us to currently, or there's nowhere for the resources that we have coming in on this launch pad to actually go. The setup is incomplete. I know it is incomplete. So let's get ourselves the optics factory. That's 250k. I need more cash. Place this rover down. 250k is it's not a lot of money, but it's just a little bit out of my price range at the present moment. And we need loads of water in order to build that. Okay, fine. I've got the 250k. Thank goodness for the little nodules. Excellent. Our brand new optics factory will be making lasers and energy in no time, and not without energy. Ah, let's research solar panels. Can't wait to see some currents flowing. Okay, connect that up. Great. So we've got some resources that are going to be coming in here. We need to get solar panels. Solar panels are going to cost us 10 tech points to research. And we're also going to need to supply glass. Ugh, are you kidding me? I mean, it's not necessarily the end of the world, because all I need to do is just drag the glass from here to there instead, which is perfect. I need more money. I need more money, and I need more money desperately. Let's return to this world and see if we can maybe get... Yeah, see if we can maybe get a little bit more water being extracted. Solar sails, brilliant. That actually does give us a little bit of money. And modules, what do we want to build with modules? Sulfur, yes, maybe. Iron, also yes. Oxygen is craftable, and water currently we have. Let's get that. I'll take the solar panels. Beautiful. I'm looking forward to utilizing them. I very much look forward to doing that. But for now, let's get this in here. Let's get another extractor for water. And then, what did I need for this? I needed iron, and iron, I believe, was on the other asteroid? Yeah, the other asteroid that we just have yet to link up. So, the asteroid over here, that's aluminium. That's iron. That's the ticket. And we just pump that into there. Good. Collect a little bit of extra dosh in the process. And put this down here. And that in there. Amazing. That looks great. That looks great. I can just move the rover around, by the way. That's kind of cool. Instead of actually dragging a little a little line across the surface of this asteroid. I can just pop it down wherever I want and pick up the resources. It's kind of cool. Right, more money, less problems. Absolutely keep it going. We will now supply living quarters. That is great. Also, since we are here, let's see. What do we need in order to build solar panels? It's only 75 credits. It's easy enough to get credits, so that's good. Do we need to set up a little power chain? We absolutely do. Also, apparently we need 3? We need 3 power in order to supply this. And we only have 1. And we can't level up, at least not yet. So another one of these. Now we only need 1. Cool. We also need to get uranium from somewhere over here. Thank you very much. I'll take the living quarters. Anything else? Quartz. We are producing quartz, but we're not actually producing it in large enough quantities for me to be happy with. Let's get the uranium down there. Nice. Water, that's coming along. Cool. And energy. Yep. Nice. So that should be it. That should be it. I mean, we will need to get the resources consistently moved here. But honestly, that is our 1 laser. And our 1 laser should be more than enough in order to supply at least the component that we are after. Also, we've got scrap, apparently. We making scrap? I don't know how we're making scrap. I guess we produce it as a byproduct? Okay. Cool. Oh, I can connect solar panels in series. Okay, that doesn't really matter, I suppose, because we've got plenty of space here and it's all sort of linking in there. But that's pretty good. Okay, so one of the sort of key components has been built. It is now up to us to make ourselves some mirrors. So we've already got glass that is being made, not on this asteroid, but it's happening. A light alloy is aluminium and silicon. Now, I think, well, we've got aluminium here, so let's extract and let's put it over there, and let's get another one, and also put it into there. And I think we want to make, let's keep the good times going. I think we want to make the other resource, whatever it is, the light alloy, I think we want to make that over here. So we'll get a lander. Yeah, a landing pad. Where are you? Yeah, get a landing pad for this here. Also, I know I've still got these 2 useless things, but I was kind of waiting for enough money to build another chemical lab. But the problem is they are actually quite expensive. If I build that, and that allows me to make quartz, which is good, it's going to stop me from doing basically anything else. Right. Okay, light alloy. We need to move aluminium over to here, and we need to research a crucible, which I will do. That will take no time at all. Let's also move aluminium across. In fact, I probably want a bespoke launch pad, don't I? I think I do. Yeah. What do I need? A crater? Well, we can build a crater over here. So, your aluminium. Let's delete this pipe and get aluminium over there. Delete this pipe and get aluminium over there. Superb. And then we head out onto the map. Excellent. And now aluminium, we very simply drag to the landing pad over on this asteroid. Good. Now it's landing here. The crucible should be coming through. I need 2 more bits of aluminium to be spent to the station. Can I just output it? Can I just output it directly into here? I mean, it's a temporary workaround. It's fine. Also, we can speed up time. If I do speed up time, it will lose us a few tech points. It's not necessarily the end of the world, but it is something that we, should maybe consider. That, I can't believe that worked. But yeah, we basically landed here, we bunted it back into here, and this obviously goes back up to the space station, so that's kind of nice. Either way, Crucible, now that we've got that, we should have no issues. Ooh, that's cool. We build them on the little asteroid things. Right, so that goes there. What did we need here? We needed silicon. Silicon is right next door. Superb. That's not what I was after, but it's fine. Silicon in there, and then we need to get just a little bit of solar power here. And by a little bit of solar power, I mean actually quite a lot of solar power. Well, only like 3. So it's not necessarily the end of the world. Oh, quartz. Yeah, I was gonna make some quartz. Instead of Instead of putting it in here, we'll just directly output the quartz from the chemical lab right on into here, and that will give us $200 as soon as we make the treasury. These are some modules that we're going to be able to make for our station, which is kind of cool. We're moving on up in the world, and that's great. Very, very happy with that. So, still pumping out a bunch of silicon. Not very much though, but it's enough. There we go. Let's go and get our rover to collect us a little bit more cash. It's quite satisfying to drag the rover over the course of the landscape, over the asteroid. It's very, very nice. Excellent. Good timing on the treasury. What do I want to build? Sulfur for... yeah, probably sulfur and water, because we've already got the production chain in place, so we might as well. Anyway, back to business. Let's get solar panels. Solar panels, connect them in series. Excellent. And that is going to give us a light alloy. Now, what did I need to do with the light alloy? I needed to combine them in an optics factory with glass. Well, I did just stop manufacturing glass here. Yeah, the glass is currently here. I did change that, but we can change it back. And instead of taking it off-world, we'll just do an optics factory. What, like here? 250 bucks is so much. Thankfully, I was prepared for this. Ah, that's a lot of power. Anyway, light alloy, great. Glass. Let's get this to go here. So that's a bit of a journey, but it is the resources that we need. And then I need what? 3 more solar panels? Let's do it. That's 2. Collect the lab. Anything else? Water. It's going to take me about 1 billion years to get done, but that's okay. What else here? Oxygen. I wish there was a way to split a pipe so that we could send glass to multiple places. A pipe hub. Yes! That's a great idea. I would love to unlock a pipe hub. That'd be perfect. Thank you very much. What do we need? We need aluminium. That's fine. We should be producing some of it, which is great. Anyway, what do I need? I need more cash. I'm desperate for more cash, so let's collect a few more resources. Get our last solar panel down here. Connect them up. Nice. And then right into there. What do you know? That is some mirrors, and then this place is becoming an absolute flippin' maze. We need to get it up here. That is... it's an atrocious pipe, but it works. But it works. Okay. Aluminium, are we doing aluminium? Actually, I think the aluminium might be coming to here. Let's change this around. Well, let's not change it around. We don't want to change the connection in space. All we need to do is just get... Hold on. A little bit more cash. Get an extractor in there and connect up to here. And that will at least give us some forward progress on the aluminium. I don't want to make any of those things, to be honest. Thanks for the cash. And another one. And... Oh. Really? We're not gonna be able to squeeze it through. That problem won't be an issue when we get the pipe hub. But for now, a little bit annoying. Either way, the research should now be able to progress as soon as we have some aluminium. There's so much stuff coming out of this landing pad. This one obviously only aluminium, but it's going to the other area. Now, we should be able to move towards victory at quite a decent pace here. And in fact, no issues whatsoever. Now, there are some very, very nice looking cutscenes here, which, all good, happy days. We're getting talking Toucan, explaining a few of the finer things in life to us, and there is a little story about like a weird little thing that we end up discovering. Look at this. Look at how good this looks. This is proper quality. There you go. A little bit of behind the scenes for you. Right, let's travel to the next sector and see what we have got going on. Ravsicle. Sounds like icicle, but it's in space, apparently. Right, let's jump on into this one and see what we've got going on. So we have I believe, thank you, it's very frosty and whatnot, great. We have, I believe, all of the stuff that we unlocked before, and this looks like a much larger, sort of more complicated area that we have to operate in. We need to get the station level increased by 2. Okay, that's fine. Are these some new resources? Let's jump on into Tersigate. We'll land here. We start with 750 coins. Ooh, okay. Let's see what we've got. Uranium, naturally occurring. Excellent, we'll take that. I don't know what this is. What is this? Methane? Ooh, okay. Okay. Let's yoink the uranium first. We'll get 2 extractors down so that we can immediately start the process. But did I unlock the pipe hub? I absolutely did. Unlock the pipe hub, so we'll get this into there, and then that out of there. Good. And more. Can we build? Ooh, we can't build. We can't build on the water deposit there. That's fine. Not necessarily the end of the world. Build the hub here. Connect that up, and then connect that up, and that should be, at least, I think, a slightly more direct route for all of our resources to get back up to the space station. Very nice indeed. Okay, so the reactor has increased, the station level is increasing. Supply quest, I will take the one that gives me money. The module quest, aluminium, silicon, sulfur. I don't think we can build any of these at the present moment. Uranium, yep, we'll take the uranium. If we've got 2 quests, by the way, that currently take uranium, we can order the quests differently so that the resources are supplied in the correct order. Not like it really matters, but that's okay. We'll take silicon, and then we will head on over to here and get the silicon done. Land in the big old crater in the middle. Quite far from silicon, but not too bad. Not too bad. Right, logistics, boom. Boom, boom, boom. All into one big pipe, and then all up there. That should get us our engine room, which is the 2nd level that we are after. Uranium, yep. Let's keep the cash coming in. That is good. And the captain, I believe, will be happy as soon as we get the engine room completely fulfilled. Look at that. Excellent. That's a lot better already. Next mission, look for the strangelets. After all that's here, that's what we came for. Right. Okay, we'll continue to have a look. Aluminium or sulfur. Well, we don't have those resources. We don't have access to those resources at the present moment. There we go. Keep going. Let's have a little zoom out and see what's over here. Let's also discover this. We've got plenty of tech points. I should just be using them, you know. Discover this over here. Nothing really that I see of interest. I mean, there is the aluminium quest to complete, which I guess I will do. Ooh, pluck me and call me a roast. Is that what I think it is? Finally, we're getting the good stuff. I'll bet my birds see that there's some alien relics inside. It's frozen up real good. Okay, so what we can do is we can occasionally place a special excavation hub over strange objects. And what we need to do here is we need to basically supply certain resources. This is Tukan Ruth over here. We need to supply certain objects to the excavation site in order to progress the sort of research progress. Let's defrost this popsicle, but first I need water from the excavator's engine cooling system. Cool. All right. It's well spotted at these temperatures. Everything freezes, so let's get ice extractors. Okay, fine. Let's start the process of getting that researched. Let's get this checked off, and let's get some of the other sort of like little mini missions sorted. There we go. Nice, looking good. So that will take care of some of this stuff. That'll take care of corridors. We also can do this relatively easily. I need to get sulfur extraction sorted, and I don't have sulfur on any of the current planets, but there is a sulfur deposit here. So let's go and do that right now. There we go. That's very, very simple, but that will take care of our needs. That's all that we need in order to do for sulfur. Anything here? Yeah, I'll do that. Sure, because we've already got sulfur. If it's easy enough for us to do, we might as well just do it. The ice extractor progress is coming along nicely. That's great. You know what? I'll actually throw down another one of these things. It doesn't cost us anything to build pipes, so the longer pipes we have, doesn't really make much of a difference. Silicon. Yep, start the process making silicon. The ice extractor. Brilliant. Okay, let's go back to that first asteroid that we landed on. It was this one here. And we can place the ice extractor on this deposit, I think. On this deposit, and there we go. We are now able to get ourselves some water, which is pretty darned cool. Then let's jump into logistics. We'll get ourselves a brand new launch pad. We'll extract directly to the launch pad, which I think is perfect. And then over on this... Where is it? This planet here? I think it's this one. Yeah, this one here with the... Have you got the, Where's the weird thing? Where's the weird thing? Is it here? It's here. It's definitely here. It's not definitely here. Oh, we don't have the tech points in order to do that. That's annoying. Where the heck is, Where the heck is the thing that I discovered? Of course, it's on the only asteroid that I didn't actually check. I realize, by the way, I'm using the words planet and asteroid interchangeably here, but... Does it matter? I don't think so. You know, besides, an asteroid is just like a small planet anyway. Let's get ourselves a landing pad. Let's get that linked up there. Let's get the water moved across into here so that it'll come in directly. Always be hustling. Always be hustling. Water, yep, I will choose to get water. And in fact, I'm going to get a pipe hub here. And we're going to split the output of the water so that we have a little bit more... Oops. So that we have a little bit more resource guaranteed to hit the supply for the bird bath, which is going to be quite handy. We'll get more cash here. Excavator project has been completed. That's great. I've got a theory on how to crack this one open, but I need to run tests. Can you get me some plastic so I can build a prototype? Probably. Let's have a little look. Plastic is craftable. I mean, we're going to accept it anyway because we frankly don't have any choice. A refiner. Hydrocarbon into plastic. Well, the refiner is easy to build. I've already got that unlocked, but I clicked on the wrong button there. What do we make? What do we make? What do we make hydrocarbons from? It's from water and it is from carbon. Carbon is methane plus oxygen. Well, that's methane. Oxygen is just craftable from water. Huh. Okay. This is kind of interesting. Right, so we've got the water being delivered. We've got the water being delivered here. In the first instance, we need to turn it into... Component lab? Okay, that we will need to research that at some point, but that's okay. In the first instance, we need to turn it into oxygen. Great. Let's take care of that. Get that continuously going. Oh, we do still need water, don't we? Okay, fine. Well, we're gonna need to split our water up anyway, so let's just keep that there for now. I don't need plenty of water. I just need a little bit of water. We can deal with this later. Right. So half the water is going to go up to there to continue to make the bird bath. The other half is going to come down here, and that is going to give me water into oxygen, which is fantastic. Right. Let's build another refiner right here because we need to make the hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons in a chemical lab. Methane. Do we have the ability to make methane? I'm not sure that we do, you know. Right. Oxygen into there. Methane. Yeah, okay. Apparently that does allow... So the ice extractor is not necessarily for ice per se. It is for anything that is in an iced state. That's okay. So that's going to give me... That's going to give me the resource that we're after, I hope. Let's just wait for the methane to arrive very slowly but very surely coming through here. Great. Carbon. Fantastic. And then we go to here, if I'm not mistaken. It's a chemical lab. Oops. Delete. My bad, my bad, my bad. Do I have enough for a chemical lab? I do. Barely. So that goes into there. Wait, what? No, we're already making it here. Ugh. It is a refiner. What am I talking about? It is a refiner, because it's this recipe. Yeah, it's water from here, plus carbon from here. It is... What am I doing? It's a chemical lab. So because we got the carbon, great. Now it's water plus carbon. So the carbon from here, the water from here, that gives us the hydrocarbon. Then from the hydrocarbon, we go into the refiner, and we refine from a hydrocarbon into plastic. And then that goes into there. Wowzers. Okay, that took a little bit of time, but it does get the job done. Fantastic. Now we delete this because we don't need water to be supplied back to the space station. Although I could set that up. I'll take that because we've already got it. Anything here? No, let's not sweat the small stuff. It's fine. Okay, plastic coming along very, very nicely. We need 6 plastic in order to get this done. That's great. I think we probably need more water. I think that's our limiting factor at the present moment. So let's go back down here and just yoink down. There we go. I guess like two more ice extractors. Might not make that much of a difference, but certainly can't hurt. And there we go. The plastic has officially been supplied. Very, very good. Easier than stealing a worm from a warbler. Okay, all I need is some ceramics, electronic components, and energy. Let's get flapping. Cool. Oh, we had a little bit of lag there. That's all right. Right. Thanks for looking out for me, Rust. Excellent. What do you need? Ooh, okay. Ceramic, circuit board, energy. Energy is easy for us to do right now. We can manage that. We will obviously accept. Great. Oxygen and water. We are supplying these things, but I'm not supplying them to the spaceship. Although, to be fair, I could. And in fact, if I readjust this and readjust this, and then we put a logistics hub in here and a logistics hub in here, and then take this out here, logistics hub in there, methane to here, methane up to there, that up to there, that into there, nice, that across to there, so carbon comes through here, and then I build another launch pad, and then carbon goes out there. That will allow us to basically extract each and every part of the process so that we can get everything, I think. And then the water also needs to come up to here. That wasn't connected. That is a horrific pipe, but I kind of like it. It's got character. It's got character. Okay, let's have a little look at what we need to make these things. Circuit boards, a component lab of silicon and acid. Well, the component lab we need to get researched in the first instance. That is what we have sitting over here. What do I need in order to make the circuit lab? Acid is sulfur plus water. We don't do either of those things on this planet. Sulfur we have here. Okay, let's make a landing site here then. Because we've got water. We might as well get a landing pad. Oops. Might as well get a landing pad here. We'll direct the sulfur into here. That's great. And then what was the resource that we needed? Or what was the building that we needed, I should say? It was a chemical lab. $200. Well, we'll get there. What do we need? Aluminium. Yep. And methane, water. Methane, water, which we've already got. Sure. What the heck? Let's do it. Right, chemical lab. Boom and boom. Do I want to... You know what I kind of want to do? I kind of want to split... the sulfur. So half the sulfur goes back to the spaceship. The other half is going to come out here. And then you are just supplying water. What I really need is to delete you and then have a route that goes out there. And that will be our acid. That only has to be temporary because we only need, what, like five bits of acid? So that'll take no time at all. And then the circuit boards we just need to combine with silicon. Am I making silicon on this world? I don't think so. So, do I want to get a bespoke launch pad for silicon? I mean, it's not the craziest idea in the world. Launch pad there. And then we just have the outputs. Thank you. We have the output of the acid go over to here. Nope. Where is it? Where is this? It's this one. This is the one that we need to supply to. So that. Yeah, that's it. A little bit complicated, but it's fine. Get that all tucked away. Get that all tucked away. We got loads and loads of cash at the present moment. Acid, oxygen, acid and oxygen. You know that's probably what we are after. But the acid we would have to transport to. We'd have to transport to this area over here if I did want to. If I did want to supply it. Let's get... Oh, we can't set more than one output, but I can set this hub there to do that, and then this goes in here. So half of the acid is going to go back up to the spacecraft, and then the other half is going to go to its bespoke launch site. That is going to be very, very handy. And then we need to launch to a planet with silicon in. Silicon in, silicon on. I'm not sure. Where is that going to be? Probably here. Excellent. And we will have a landing pads right over here in a very limited area, but it's fine. There's not even that many places that we can actually launch and or land. So yeah. Right, acid. We're going to drag bespoke acid right over to here. That's looking nice. And then in a component factory, if I'm not mistaken, it is component factory. We'll take this to here. Drag that into there. Of course, we will need some sun. That into there. Good. How much power was it? Was it 3 or was it 5? Oh, look, this is like a very sunny spot. Nice. Okay, well, we'll do that then. You just launched to the base, so I guess we'll supply... Oh no, we can't. We need to supply to the crater. Let's go launch pad here. We'll go hub here. Half goes back to the base, half goes to its bespoke launch pads. So this is exactly why, because I knew that we'd need circuit boards for this. And then we'll also accept that. Great, so that we can keep the good times going. I feel like cash-wise we're doing not too badly here. This is fine. Right. And then what am I after? I'm after electronic circuits. The electronic circuits need to go to here. But the real question is, do I have the resources? No, it's not to here, actually. What am I talking about? Do I have the resources? And by resources, I mean, do I have the craters on this planet to get more landing pads? Yeah, we totally do. We absolutely do. Landing pad, boom. Right into there. We've already got... Nice. We've already got the stuff, the circuits going back to the engine room, so I don't need to split on arrival. So that's fine. Methane, nope. Don't need methane. Carbon, yep, we're doing carbon. Let's do it. Let's do it. So yeah, very much sort of first impressions, feels very, very fluid, feels very flexible. I have 5 power. Can I do 5 power? There is a sun zone. Let's build it here. Can I... How on earth am I going to get this into this area? Okay. I take it back. I take it back. We're gonna just build... What, like 5? Can I even fit 5 in here? I mean, we can always readjust that. Yeah. 5 solar panels. Definitely... not a super great cost-effective way of solving this problem, but it does work. Rover, yep. Let's do a nice little bit of cash. Excellent. And even more cash. Love to see it. Okay, yoink this in here. Yoink that into there. That is the correct power supply. That is great. Why am I not getting... Why am I not getting the right type of resource coming across here? We should be making... Yeah, there we go. We should be making this. This should be working just fine. 50% should be split up to here. The other 50% should be sent back to the base. And I'm not using it for anything, so what's the issue with this? There we go. Yep, keep it coming. Yeah, maybe go into fast forward mode. You do operate correctly, don't you? I mean, I'm not seeing you launch. And that's a bit of a red flag. There we go. Okay, finally you launch. That's great. And then you fly across here. Yep, into here, into here, into here. Good. And then down. And then that should take care of a few resources, right? Oh, I see. You're getting launched here. And then you're just getting launched back into the... Huh. Okay, that's a bit weird. Can I not... What's the difference? This one? That's the one. Okay, that's the exact one that we need. It's a little bit difficult to see. I guess because I deleted the last journey that it took. Either way. Ceramics, what are ceramics? Aluminium and carbon. We have got both of those resources. Do we have them both here? We've definitely got... Yeah, so this is really weird. What was the resource that we had landing here? It was water, wasn't it? It was 100% water. Yeah, and then that was into there. So the water that we had, for some reason... I can't remember deleting that. Maybe I did. Either way, we get the water to come through here. The water gets turned into oxygen. Oxygen. This is... I have no idea what this recipe is here. Pink goop stuff? Not sure about that. Carbon comes through here. Great. Half of it goes this way. What I really need to do is combine it with aluminium. And we have aluminium on this planet. That is very, very handy. That is very handy indeed. Let's delete this here. Bring this around. Yep. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. I can smell a bad decision. Smell a bad decision coming. Do you export carbon? You do export carbon. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that I would like to squeeze down here. So, good. Logistics, carbon, and then the aluminium is on this pipe. So, if I go retract this, come here, and then what was the recipe? It was in a crucible. That's easy for us to do. Crucible needs to go on a little one of these things. It's fine. You know what? Just go there. Carbon. Over to there. And then back. Right into there. That's good. And then sun. It can't be that difficult to find sun over here. I mean, look, we can just chain together a couple. I think it's just 3. There we go. Finally. So that's going to be carbon production. In fact, no, it's not carbon production. It's ceramics production. That'll be ceramics production. Let's go into fast forward mode. That's going to be ceramics production. Let's see it work. Beautiful. It works like an absolute dream. Yoink, yoink. And then that should be supplied straight into here. We now need to replace 2 additional bits of power that we lost. There we go. Nice. And then, yeah, we literally just need to let... We just need to literally let time pass in order to get all of the carbon to come through here, which shouldn't take too long, I hope. And then let it get turned into ceramic, and then bang it into this excavation site. Nice. And one more bit of ceramic needs to make its way into this building. Here it comes, I think. That's great. What have we got in the meantime? We got a manufacturing unit completed. That was, I guess, delaying a bunch of my carbon from being sent to the right destination, but that's fine. Anything else that I want to get sent here? No, not really. Guess we can do that. Sure, there's the last bit of ceramic. It's coming. Fantastic. Beautiful. Victory. Sector 4 has done it. That nugget has thawed. So yeah, we were... Apparently, we're on a quest to, like, research this thing. This is another little, like, component that that we needed to excavate from the underground. I like the system of supplying all of the resources into the excavation unit and then exploring. Lot of cutscenes here. This is like, what is it, an intergalactic bean thing? I'm really not sure as to the mechanics or to the story, but that's okay. Suffice to say, oh, there we go, birthday cake. Suffice to say, I'm going to skip the cutscene because I just want to do as much gameplay as I possibly can. If you are interested in, you know, picking the game up for yourself, you can do so. You can absolutely do so. Yeah, high score of 64. If I wanted to get more score, all you need to do is build more and more and more station modifications. It's definitely possible. I'm just choosing not to, because I want to show off as much gameplay as possible. Okay, Ravsicle, Sector 5 out of Starlight. Let's get into the level, shall we? We're in. These interfaces are a nightmare, but the readings look like there might be a strangelet close by. Possibly even 2 more. Okay, we need results. That's fine. A strangelet. We need to mine these things, I guess. But that's all we need to do. We need to literally just supply 3. This is a large number of asteroids for us. Is that a new resource? Titanium. Okay. That's cool. That's very cool. Titanium and iron on there. So, let's go and sort of set up some basic production chains first. Oh, look. There we go. Strangelet right there. That's cool. We need to build an excavator or an excavation hub. That's fine. I am going to do that, but I'm not going to do it right now. What I want to get first is... Is it just iron and silicon on this planet? Yeah. I want to get the 2 basic resources set up first before we build an excavation hub on top, and then see what you need. You need 100 water supplied to here. Okay, that is an ambitious quest, but it's fine. Start the process of getting that all done. We'll hop out to here, see if we can try and find ourselves some water. There is no water anywhere. Well, we'll do some research. Brilliant, complete the engine room. No sign of titanium, no sign of any of these things yet. Well, actually, no, there is sign of titanium, I just haven't extracted it yet. Why don't I do it now? Why don't I do it now? I'll get the titanium down. Plus, it allows us to check out the planet and see if there's any odd stuff happening here. There we go. 2 titanium. Great. I think we've already got iron. But I'll get 2 iron there. Perfect. And... what else? Titanium. Titanium. Let's take silicon. Yep. New module ready. Yep. That's the one. So, still no sign of water. We'll set that up for discovery. Anything here? No. Yes, that's what we're after. We are after water, and we are basically out of tech points, by the way. So we probably need to account for that. This is a strange-looking planet. This is a very strange-looking planet. We also need some more tech points before we can even progress. That's a little bit annoying. Let's do this. Let's wait for these resources to all be delivered. And then, yeah, let's see if we can try and get a few more tech points after this. Right, I've taken this quest to supply iron. That's going to give me 21 tech points or so, which I think should be a plentiful amount, honestly, in order to sort of get some forward momentum going on the water planet. But I will, of course, try and take... I'll take iron, actually, because we've got plenty of cash. We're actually really, really good for cash at the moment. So water is here. It's an icy water. We get that? Oh, it's so close. Oops. And yeah, we got an icy water over here. Great. Let's get 2 extractors. Let's punt them in to there like so. That is great. And a little bit more water. Why not? Or a little bit more cash for water, I should say. Right, reactor. Yeah, I took this mission because I was thinking we could also set up a uranium production chain. We've only got uranium over here. More tech points, love to see it. Beautiful. More cash, love to see it. What do I care more about? Tech points or cash now? Probably cash. Right, so the only thing that we really need from this planet is uranium, planet, asteroid, etc. Who cares? Right, there. Good. Nice. And that'll get me uranium. Sure. So, water. I do need water. Now, where is the planet that's... This is the planet that's got the excavator on. Fine. All I'll need to do then is throw down a landing pad here. Make sure that we link that up directly. Then make sure that we link up the water planet to there. Is that good enough? Yeah. Do I still need to supply water into the base? I mean, I don't right now, but I almost certainly will in the future. So, you know what? Let's delete that there, and then let's get a logistics hub, just so that we always have every single resource going to the space station / base, whatever you want to call it. More cash, module supply, water. Yep, look, there we go. Perfect opportunity for water. Now, it is going to take us an extended period of time in order to complete this quest here, because it is 100 units of water, and that's just going to take time. So let's forget about that for now and see if we can try and do a little bit more exploration of the universe here. If we maybe... that looks promising. That looks very promising. I think that's another excavation site. It 100,000% is. That's beautiful. I need 250 cash in order to build this thing. That's annoying. And we've got uranium. I mean, literally nothing but uranium here. Well, that's fine, actually. Don't know where that rover's going. You're going on a wild goose chase, that's for darn sure. Yeah, uranium on this planet is totally fine. The 250 cash should be hit very, very soon. There we go. Let's get the excavation hub. And what do you need? Do you need water? You do not need water. Strange points. Okay. So strange points, strong alloy. Ah, interesting. Interesting. There are two different recipes here. There's titanium and there is iron. I mean, I think we make titanium and iron. Yeah, we can make the alloy on this planet. Planet, asteroid, who cares? Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I going too big here? Maybe I'm going too big, but I want these alloys. I want these alloys. So we get a crucible. Ugh. There's no little craters here. There's no little craters. Okay. Well, this is really embarrassing. Oh, small explosives creates artificial craters for small placement of small buildings. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's exactly what we need. However, I'm going to need to get resources up to the base first. And I don't think that we currently supply these things. We supply aluminium. I'm almost certain that we supply aluminium. If we don't, let me rectify that. We got aluminium over here. The methane, or should I say, not methane, sulfur, actually. Yeah, these are not super difficult to do. They're not super difficult to do. They're just a little bit annoying. So that's the sulfur. There we go. Let's not beat around the bush there. What do we got? Quartz, aluminium, iron. I'll take that because I know that we're going to need it in just a second. 40 water? I think the 40 titanium is probably going to be a little bit easier, but we'll take it nonetheless. Now, I need the methane from here, right? No, not the methane from here. I need the aluminium from here. Do we not have another planet with aluminium on? No. No, we literally just have one. We just have one, but that's okay. We'll be able to fix things up real quick. Right, let's go into fast forward mode. I don't really need these tech points. That's an absolute lie. I do need the tech points. I've screwed myself here. We're going to need to wait until one of these missions completes. Shouldn't take too long, but annoying nonetheless. Titanium. Yep, let's get titanium. And yeah, we need one of these things to complete. in order to get a little bit more money and a few more tech points. What an idiot I am, honestly. Why would I do that? Right, I've almost got the tech points that I've required. I've taken a few missions. Boom, to give me 30. Fantastic. I've also completed the water supply mission, so we've got 100 water here. That's how long this took. Didn't take that long, to be fair. It just took a little bit of time. Either way, we've now got the resources that we need in order to pretty convincingly get ourselves a machine over here. Let's do this. Nice. That was not very nice, actually. Thinking about it. Beautiful. And that goes there. That goes there. Fantastic. That is our aluminium supply. Beautiful. So, I need to supply aluminium for this. I need to supply aluminium for this. Both of which we will have in just a little bit. But I can't wait to build this little crater thing. It's going to be so good. What on earth, Potato? What on earth? That's fine. Okay. Supply quest. Do I need tech points? Do I need cash? I'll take the cash. Yoink. Thank you very much. Small explosive. Don't mind if I do. So, we need to make that strong... What is it called? A strong alloy, I think it is. Light alloy, strong alloy. Titanium plus iron. We've got iron here. Brilliant. We've got the titanium over here. Thank you very much. I will take a manufacturing unit as well. Why not? Methane. Nope. We'll take the lab because I've already got the components that we're supplying, so that's fine. And let's get the small explosive. We need a... What do we need? We need a strange token. What was it? A strange token for it? Small explosive creates... How do we get one of these strange tokens then? Aha. Okay. We need to supply the strong alloy. Flippin' heck. So before I can even build the small explosive, we need to get a strange token. Well, you know what? Let's maybe not worry about that. Let's continue to discover the planets or the asteroids around here, and see if we can maybe try and get some other way to... That looks like it, by the way. See if we can maybe try and discover some other ways to get strange tokens. Beautiful. Excavation hub. Let's do it. What do you need? Light alloy. See? That's why we try this. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. I'm looking for resources. We're going for light alloy. Aluminium plus silicon. I mean, I don't think we can do it on this planet. Boom. Yeah, keep it down. This is supposed to be a covert operation. Don't worry. I'm cool. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. So, we need aluminium and we need silicon. And I don't think that there's a planet where it happens at the same time. But... Or we produce both at the same time. I mean, let's maybe discover this planet. I mean, there might be the same combination of resources. Silicon and aluminium would be a great... Oh, be perfect. It would be an absolutely perfect combination to come across. And we need to do that in the Crucible. So, let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. Silicon, aluminium, right in the Crucible. It's 200 coinage in order to make that happen. Well, we're very close to fulfilling that objective. Yep. And what do I want to take here? I'll take light alloys because we're gonna have that in just a second. Oh, please don't tell me. What's the issue here? These are small craters. They're small craters, right? You're kidding me. Are they really not small craters? I quite simply don't understand. Oh, we got a strange token. Apparently. Well, let's do it here. Let's do it here. I still think this is a small crater. But we just can't build in these things. Maybe because they're elevated? I don't know. They're on, like, plateaus? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's not sweat the small stuff. That's great. And we need 3 power, which should be fine. Is there a hot spot here somewhere? A good place to power this area? No, don't think so. That's fine. We got the cash to make it happen. Let's do it. They hardly produce any energy. It seems like the particle collide with the Ravicidal is too many wavelengths. Oh, I see. Okay, are we going to get... area with the strongest starlight is highlighted white by previewing the solar panels. Yeah, but I mean, it's not like there's... It's not like there is... It's not like there's the resource that we need. We just need... We need something else. We need something else in order to... In order to get more power. Oh well. No worries. More cash? Yes, please. Strange points? Would love them. Would love them. There's just no... There's just no flippin' solar power here. But I did get one. Like, one of these is producing. Does it produce here? I mean, literally nothing. Wow, this is miserable. Yeah, I don't know how we've ended up with that one bit of power, but alas, it's not happening. Okay, I guess we need to do some research in order to try and get some new buildings. I'll take that, sure. Strong alloy, light alloy. Yeah, I mean, I'm out of strange points as well. That's annoying. Let's enter this planet, see if there's something that we can build here. There is nothing on this world. Literally nothing on this world. I mean, there's a few little cash points, but nothing of real value. In fact, I mean, yeah, literally nothing. Well, that is flippin' miserable. Okay, well, we explored that. Let's explore this one over here. See if there's anything. See if there's anything over here. Zoom in. Mistakes will be made. Mistakes will be made. Wow. Okay, so there are some places. There are some places that we can get some bonus power from. But basically nowhere. Okay, that's fine to note. Yeah, still can't upgrade this launch pad, by the way, or upgrade anything, I believe, which is fine. Right, what is the next priority? I mean, I have aluminium, and I have the... What is it? Yeah, I have aluminium and iron here. Can I maybe just check out some of these smaller planets to see if they have small craters in them? I don't think they do. I mean, maybe over here. Do you have any small craters? No. No small craters over there. Maybe you have small craters? Don't think so. Do we seriously have nowhere to build a crucible? Yeah, we have nowhere to build a crucible. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking more and more about this. I think I actually might have like soft locked this game, this level, because I built this here because I was like, oh yeah, I get power from this. But it turns out on this asteroid, right? Literally everywhere else, you get no power at all. You can't place anything. But then right on the edge of this rim, there is like spots for 2 solar panels, right? Look at this. One right in there, and another like right in here. And I have tried pretty much every combination to try and increase the sort of floor space that I get, but it's just not enough. And I can't, for whatever reason, I can't get enough power, right? So, I mean, even if I build 1 billion solar panels here, it still doesn't give us enough. It still doesn't give us enough power, even though we get power from over there. In order to get the next power building, the nuclear reactor, I don't know what I need to do in order to get that, but I think I need to supply one of these resources, right? In order to get a strange point. If I was to get a strange point from either of these areas, that would be fine. But I just can't. I can't get the I can't get the power here. I don't think that there's any way that I can... I don't think there's any way that I can do this. I'm going to try and, like, noodle around a little bit more. But because I don't have a strange point... I mean, as far as I'm aware, right? None of the other planets have got crucible-sized craters on them. You think it looks like a crucible-sized crater. Because it's on the plateau, it doesn't actually... It doesn't actually work. What a swizz. I know. Also... Power, there is a power sort of zone on pretty much every single asteroid, but the one that I'm on. But there is still, you know, but there is still a little bit for, there's still two sort of solar panel shaped areas here, like, that it works on. So I've inadvertently, completely, just because of sheer coincidence, debated myself into thinking that we could totally get solar power here. That is quite simply remarkable. And yeah, trust me, I've checked on the edge of every single other crater, and there is no power. So I don't know what's going on there. It was just a complete fluke, I guess, that where I decided to build my my crucible setup is one of the only places that you can get power. And now, as I say, there's, I mean, what if we deleted this? Maybe there's a little bit of power on the edge here. It's worth trying. Maybe if I destroyed the... Can we destroy the artificial crater? We can destroy the artificial crater! Okay. I'm unsoft locked. I'm unsoft locked now. That's great. So, we get a launch pad here. We get a launch pad here. I don't know how we destroy the... I don't know how canonically that works, but it's okay. I don't particularly care. So, you do that. You do that. So we get aluminium. We get silicon to each individual launch pad. That's perfect. And then there's got to be power here. I'm just assuming that there's power here because there is power on most places with the exception of where I was. Wow. That's it? It should be big enough for 3 panels, right? It's good enough. It's good enough for me. So, we will get a landing pad here. Oops. Landing pad here. Landing pad here. We'll get a small crater here. Boom. Explode that. Crucible right down there. Boom, boom. Link up. Link up. Link up. Amazing. So, we did it. Finally. We actually did it. That goes over to there. Let's get... The resource is coming from here. Ooh, no, where is it? Here to here, here to here. That's great. So that's going to get us... I think that's the light alloy. The light alloy needs to go to... Needs to go to where? Which one is the light alloy? Is it... this place? I think it's this one. I think it's this one. Does it matter which? Does it matter which excavation site it is that we need to go to? Maybe it doesn't actually matter at all. I guess let's try. Right, so that into there. Maybe it's any excavation site. Ah, that'd be great if it was. So then you go to here. Fantastic. And then we're gonna go into speed up mode a little bit because I've wasted enough time trying to figure out what's going on. It turns out it is. Excellent. Okay. Well, that's good news because it gives me another strange point, which I will gladly take. Thank you very much at long last. What do you want, Ruth? You want 8 power? I'm quite happy to do that, to be honest. And in fact, let's maybe see if we can try and make this happen right now. Is there... Of course. Oh, we need... This is how we're going to unlock the new energy. How are we supposed to generate all the energy? Nuclear fission? Yes. Yes! Finally! Great. Thank goodness we're able to recall the components that we needed. Uranium. Great, we'll get that done. I've got that strange point now, so let's go and see if I can do the resource combination. I think the strong alloy should be possible over here. And as long as there is power, there is loads of power. Loads and loads of power. So, crucible. Yep, let's build it. And let's build it, like, here. Amazing. Thank you very much. I will take the nuclear reactor. Very happy with that. Nuclear reactor. Why do I want to build that here? I don't want to build that here. I want to build this here instead. So, you need to combine titanium and iron. Flippin' heck. There's not titanium here, is there? Oh, you stupid idiot, honestly. Recall the crater. Find titanium and iron. It's here. If there's not power here, then... well, we'll make it work. Let's have a little look. Power. Yeah, so there's no power here, but there's clearly... you know, that's clearly the limitation that we have. So we'll do landing pad right in there. Excellent. We need to blow up this area here. Mobile nuclear reactor. Very, very cool. I'm just happy that we get to play around with it. So, energy from the nuclear reactor is going to come across to here. The crucible is going to get yoinked in there. That's going to go in there. That's going to go in there. That's going to go in there. Perfect. And then we just need the power to supply. Power to supply a little bit of nuclear. A little bit of nuclear energy. So, you are going to be my nuclear supply chain. Yep. That will be enough. Thank you very much. And then I will go from here right into there. Speed up just a little bit. Nice. And I would love to start seeing the resources actually get built. Beautiful. Look at that. Strong alloy has officially been made. Let's get a bespoke launch pad for just this occasion. Let's punt that into there. And then where do I want the resources to land? Here? Yeah, probably there, actually. What am I looking for? Strong alloy. Yeah, into there. It will replace my existing setup, but I mean the existing setup is just a case of supply the resources directly. Half of them can go over there, the other half can go over here. That should be enough, right? He says. Or maybe it needs to go to the excavation hub that I haven't completed yet. Maybe? Which one was that? It's not this one, because we've already done that one. Maybe this one over here? Do I have a landing pad over here? I don't think I do. Yeah, but it says you can't click on them. Well, you can click on them, but it doesn't show you the... It doesn't show you the mission. It doesn't show you the missions and where they need to be completed. Right, landing pad. Yep. Good. Sure. Let's do that. Let's do this to... Oops. Excuse me. That's the wrong one. This one to here. Great. Okay, so that's going to be the hard alloy. The 8 power. Where do I want to get the power from? I mean, is it just uranium that we've got coming from this place here? If that is the case, then that's great, because we can turn our attention to here. Land uranium on this planet right there. Great. Delete that. Energy, nuclear reactor, that into there, that into there. We've got solar sails now as well, apparently, for what that matters. Strong alloy is being produced, but it's not being directed at the station yet. There we go. There's our power. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. How much power can the nuclear reactor produce up to? Not that much, apparently. 6? Can we do 8? I don't know. And it doesn't seem... Hold on. Where's the nuclear reactor? Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's much information on it. Let's see if we can try and double up. Will that make a difference? That's what we need. We get ourselves a strange point. Fantastic. And then let's see if this is enough. See if this is enough. Fantastic. It absolutely is, as it turns out. And then we need 15 power for the last one. Bummer. Well, What does that mean? It means nuclear flippin' reactors. Is it this one? I think it is this one. But it can't be this one. But it can't be this one. Because we've already completed it. So it must be the one that I'm supplying the strong alloys to, which is over here. And we've already got uranium on this planet. So this is perfect? Correct? I think? Yes, it absolutely is. That's good. Right, 1, 2, 3. Connect, connect, connect. And then lots and lots of uranium. Finally, something that's easy to understand that I can get my brain behind. Right, logistics. Let's get all of these into a hub here. Nice. Travel across with one big connector. Am I out of cash? I'm 100% out of cash. That is bonkers. 1, 2, 3. Is it going to be enough? Am I making the right decision with this here? Almost certainly not. But let's maybe get a second connection cable. And maybe a third connection cable? Sure. You know what? Fine. It doesn't really matter. As long as we're getting all of the components in. I mean, why don't I just do a direct extractor into nuclear reactor setup? Because I don't want to, okay? Because I don't want to. Is it efficient? No. This is not an efficient setup. But it will work. It will work. I'm reasonably confident that it will. I think each reactor can easily supply 5 power. That's all that is required. It's definitely possible. Although now we've completely busted the backlog. That's actually quite nice. You know what? Delete this and get another... Don't think it's possible. How many connection points can I get into this? How many connection points can I get into this one hub? Wow. Yeah, okay, we need way more. Delete this. Delete this here. Yep. And yep, let's just get them fed in directly. We've got loads and loads of stuff happening indirectly, so that's fine. Is there any more? There's not actually a single other nuclear source that I'm not tapping. Well, there you go. Let's do that. Anything else? Nope. Right. Can I supply what is required? Delete that, maybe? Oh, we're so darn close. But a little bit more focus on these two, I think, is what we need. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. There we go. We did it for a second, and that is, frankly, all that actually matters. And that gets us our victory. Very, very nice. The captain is very, very chuffed with me. That is perfect. And look at this. We're getting all of these little intergalactic beans together, which is very cool. Okay, I think we're going to wrap things up right about there, ladies and gents. I do want to, very briefly... yeah, we'll travel to the next sector. There is going to be a cutscene, which is, again, I feel really bad for skipping because the story is kind of nice and it's kind of cutesy, but I just want to show off as much gameplay as I possibly can. If you're interested in the story, then yeah, absolutely go and check out the game for yourself. What do we got? We got new resources here. This looks kind of funky. I don't know what, I don't know what's here. Yeah, so, I mean, clearly the sort of theme about this specific area is it's frozen, it's icy, puzzling roots. Okay, not sure what that is. Either way, this is like the Ravsicle level. Is there perhaps only 8 different sort of like levels here? There is also the first system, which I didn't show off these 2 levels completing because I did that in the prologue in the demo. So I did the Reach for the Stars level. Looks like there are some additional sort of like, I guess like stop-offs. Plus there's a whole bunch of different sort of criteria that you can try and fulfill in order to, you know, like max out the high score. There's a whole bunch of different cutscenes that also nicely sort of flow into the system. I'm always a bit sort of like wary of level-based sort of strategy games, base builders. I like this one. I don't think it's going to be necessarily for everyone, but I think it's kind of cool. I like the vibe. I love the YouTube channel, Kurtzka's Art. The fact that it's made by, you know, the same people that make the YouTube videos, and also made the Dorfromantic game, which I have a huge amount of time for, I think is fantastic. Either way, check it out, link down in the description below. Thank you ever so much for watching, folks. I've been Orbital Potato. I'll catch you next time. Bye.